So, Emma, dearest, what are we chatting about today?
6-month update. Kind of briefly going over how the last 6 months have gone, how we're coping, how we're not coping.
How to survive and top tips. Hello, it's another sleepy time in the Crippen household. This is Don't Wake the Baby. Join us in our little Encanto where you can chat with us about parenting and listen to our life updates and thoughts.
Lovely. Are you imagining the house?
Yeah. Yeah, in the Disney film.
Is Encanto not the... Oh, no. I guess,
It's like a Spanish word?
Yeah, I was thinking it's not the town they live in, though, is it? They call the house just Casa Madrigal, don't they?
I'm gonna Google it. Yeah, you're right.
Whereas Encanto, isn't that like the power that they have? Because doesn't Encanto mean like enchanted?
Yes, you're right. It means like charm or enchantment. Well, you can welcome to our little charming abode.
That's very nice. Okay, you saved it. As soon as you said it, I was like, don't think that's what the house is called.
Oh yeah, I think you are right. Yeah. The house is called Casita.
Casita.
Short for little house in Spanish.
I want him to keep all of this in because I like to prove I'm right about things.
So we can't possibly have all of this in for the intro. My name's Elliot.
I'm Emma.
There we go. That's Emma over there. We are humans who came from the 90s.
Yeah.
And this is a podcast where we chat about parenting with babies and toddlers, under fives, blah-de-blah-de-blah. That's the stuff.
Yes.
You get the idea. I'm the one who... Oh, what was I going to say? A little factoid for today. What particular food that you're most likely to gobble down in one go?
Oh, it's like, are you trying to say what's your favourite food?
No, not what your favourite food.
What
is a
wouldn't stop
food
eating?
that, like, when it's in the fridge, is gone instantly because you've eaten the whole thing?
No, he knows.
It reminded me
He set me up because...
I think
which is true, it's not my favourite food.
I think for me, probably Jaffa cakes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if I have a pack of Jaffa cakes, Jaffa cakes. If I have a pack of Jaffa cakes, then I eat one and they're gone. The whole pack's gone. Yeah. I don't know what happened. It just...
Whereas mine's a lot weirder. I
think
that's why Elliot's mentioned it. Packs of ham you get, like wafer thin ham.
Like a family big pack of wafer thin ham.
Yeah, it was a family pack. Okay, go there. Yeah. And I just eat them all.
Yeah, it's that. Emma will just eat the whole pack.
Yeah.
Came in the other day, I said, what you had for lunch, Emma? And there was an empty pack of ham beside her. And she looked at me guiltily and I was like, oh, you've just eaten the whole pack of ham. Right, okay.
I've never met anyone else who goes, I can't resist a packet of ham. Let me know if you've also got a problem with eating ham.
Right, well, this must be the longest intro to the podcast ever.
Oh, we need to get to parenting fail because I need to show something we've done.
Yeah. Ding dong, it's parenting fail story time.
Is that what we do?
No, I've just made it up.
So what's the noise?
It's like a Xbox unlocked noise.
Oh, do-do-do-do.
We see you make up a noise anyway. I might as well make up any sort of noise.
It's true.
There we go. Parenting fail segment. We've got a whole host of ones to share this week. We better rattle through them.
Last night, Lily got herself dressed for bed, and we both said to each other how good a job she had done.
Got her undressed.
When I was getting her undressed, can you tell all the viewers what's on her leg?
What's on her leg?
That's her leg.
A bracelet.
A bracelet. So she slept all night with a bracelet on her leg. It was quite tight, high up her leg.
Oh, I see. It's not on her ankle.
No.
It's like hidden under her trousers.
It was
halfway
like just
up,
below her knee.
Oh, I see.
So I was getting her changed this morning and I was like, what's this? And she went, oh, it's my bracelet. I went, I can see that. I was like, why is it near your knee? And she was going, oh, well, Moana has one on her leg.
Oh,
in
that
the
is
new
true.
film. And I was like, oh, yeah, she does. And I was like, is it not tight? And she went, it's a little bit uncomfortable. I was like, oh. Then I was going, and you put that on before bed last night? Yes. So you slept all night with this bracelet, a little bit uncomfortable in your leg. She went, So from now on, it was really good she got herself ready for bed, but we maybe should do a check.
Yeah.
So any hidden items of jewellery underneath.
It's been that sort of few days, hasn't it? This week is, oh dear, it's been quite a week. We had a bank holiday on Monday, and then
did.
Tuesday was quite a day. One of the stories I wanted to tell was about Tuesday morning. Well, nighttime, really. Lola wasn't sleeping well. She decided she wanted to wake up at 3 a.m. and have a party.
She just thought it was morning.
Yeah. Normally, she's fairly, we'll get into this maybe a bit later, but fairly decent at sleeping.
Yeah.
Normally, she goes to sleep, like back to sleep. You'd fed her, like with me, pretty good. And she was awake for like an hour. It was like so frustrating.
And he was so confused because normally I bring her back to him. Well, we'll talk about our arrangement of sleeping anyway, but I normally bring her back to him, and then literally he's like kind of just has her in bed with him, and then I go and she's asleep.
Yeah.
So he kept going to me like, what time is it? Because
I thought it was morning or like 5 a.m. because like that's when sometimes she like wakes up a bit early. But then when you were like telling me like it's 3 a.m.
I kept being like, it's 3.
I was
and
like,
he
what?
kept going, what? Is what? I was like, yeah, it's 3.
So anyway, it took me a while. Eventually at like 4 a.m. I got back to sleep. I was like, great, let's have a bit more sleep. So I went back to sleep. What happened next? At 5 a.m. I woke up with Lily standing over me.
Yeah.
Our almost 4-year-old looking at me like, it's morning. I was like, what are you doing here? I was like, this is too early. Go back to bed. Yeah. And she was telling me, she's like, where are my plasters? So she'd gone to bed holding a pack of frozen plasters.
Yeah.
Not like, just to clarify, the film Frozen, not like the plasters were frozen.
Not that she'd put them in the fridge or anything, yeah.
That would be weird, even weirder.
Yeah.
I was like, they're literally beside the bed. But then she had a bit of a meltdown because she didn't want to go back and find them in your room. So then she woke up the baby at 5 a.m. I was like, I've spent so long awake trying to get her to sleep. She's only had an hour. Now she's awake. Now she's awake again. Now she's awake. So from 5 a.m. I was just up. She didn't go back to sleep. No. I couldn't get back to sleep. That was it.
Yeah.
I was so annoyed with her.
He was. And Lily came into like the room crying like, Daddy's told me off. It's not morning, but it is morning. And I was just like, and I kept going, oh, well, it might still be night. Let Mummy look at her phone. And she would go, what time is it, Mummy? And I was going, I still think it's nighttime. It's almost morning.
As few other little bits. I mean, Tuesday was just a mess, like heights and lows of emotion. Just, I mean, I'm sure there was more stories from them, but we probably haven't got time to go into them. Any other parenting fails that I've done this week? No,
but there's another one I've done. I took both girls to Lidl yesterday. I picked up nappies, but they were like one size too small. And I don't know why. I don't know what in my brain thought we were in that size again. I was looking at them for ages because I thought I was wrong. Like, part of me knew that wasn't the size she was. But I kept looking at the pictures and thinking, but that baby looks more like the size she is. I kept thinking she can't possibly be in size 4. So I got size 3, brought them home. And Elliot immediately, as soon as saw them, was like...
I was like, what? Why have you brought them?
Why have you brought them home? And I was going... because we need nappies. And he was like,
they're
in
the wrong
that
size?
And I was like, oh, I knew it. I knew, like, my gut was telling me it was wrong, but I just couldn't think properly. And in my defense, I think because both kids were with me, I was just panicking. I'm so annoyed because I get into swing of things where I'm suddenly, like, very capable again of, like, cooking and cleaning. And then I get a cold or something and I'm, like, back to square one of being exhausted all the time. Yeah. And then I'm like, I was just getting back to being, like...
That's the whole story, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's basically, I think all this messy, chaotic stories here that's been a jumble and rambling long going on is a good summary of what this episode's going to be like, chatting about how the first 6 months have gone. It's just going to be insight into our lives, of an overview. And yeah, this is just exactly like the daily chaos that is having 2 kids and having one that's under 6 months. Let's crack on. Right, strap your baby into the high chair and throw him a snack, and let's get chatting about our topic today. Have a little chin wag. So we've made it, Emma. We've made it to 6 months.
Woohoo!
Success. The baby is still alive.
Baby's still alive.
Yep.
Always a success.
We survived. We've not had a breakdown.
We haven't. Not yet.
It's a bit similar. We did an episode a long time ago on surviving the first week with a newborn.
Yeah.
And this is a kind of a little similar, like surviving the first 6 months. How's it been? We're not experts, but this is our story, some of our tips. So any opening thoughts, Emma? How, looking back, now we've hit 6 months, how's it been?
I mean, I would say I wouldn't do it again. like as per usual with parenting things, some of it's been really joyous and some of it's just been really difficult. So we're not going to go into it because we've done a topic on it, but Lola's cow's milk protein allergy nearly broke me for the first probably 4 months of this child's life.
Well, actually, it's been rather up and down, hasn't it? Because we did the first 2 months, which we have done an episode on, went really well, actually.
Yeah.
The next 4 months, well, next two to three months, terrible with cow's milk protein allergy. And then I feel like the last few months slowly been picking up again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, real...
So it's like half her life has been a struggle currently.
I remember looking back, our first ever episode we did of this podcast, I made a joke about how don't tell us what it's like if you have more than one kid out there. I was like, just don't tell us. I don't want to know because this is hard enough with one. And I think that is like still like it has been so difficult.
But it's so annoying because Lola's actually quite like, minus the food allergy, Lola's actually a very good baby in a lot of ways, like compared to if you're listening to this when you're older, Lily, I apologize. You weren't a bad baby by any means. It's just because she's a second, she has to be. But she's a bit more chill with a lot of stuff. Yeah.
I do stand by the comment we made. I can't remember what we called it. Was it postpartum episode? We were chatting about the first few months after having Lola.
Yes.
Where I said it has been easier to adapt to second time round.
Oh, definitely.
Even though it's harder, even though you're compounding everything with a second child, somehow I found this transition easier than first time round. I still stand by that.
Oh, me too. And I do think it doesn't feel as big a jump as going from nothing to one.
Which is bizarre because everything I see online, all across social media, I constantly see, particularly mums, saying about how the jump from 1 to 2 is so much more difficult than 0 to 1.
Yeah, which I don't agree.
Yeah.
No.
Interesting. You've been off on maternity.
Hey.
And when Lily isn't at preschool, you've had 2 kids to look after.
I have.
Yeah. How's that been?
It's been tough. I'll be honest. I feel like I'm only just getting to grasp, like to kind of, and it's sad because I feel like I'll only just fully get it under control and then I'll be back at work.
And obviously some of this conversation is going to be, different if you with your first child, if you have an only child going through the first 6 months to how we're going through it, talking about it with 2 children.
Yes, yeah. But, you don't have a little person, you have to kind of check if they're doing okay.
Yeah, but that has been one of the interesting things is that both children are quite different.
Yes.
In some ways they're very similar, but particularly we have an older child, a 3-year-old who just likes to stay at home, doesn't like going out a lot. Like it's a real struggle to leave the house.
Yeah.
And
she's very settled.
Yeah.
She's like, I like my drawing, I like watching my princesses, I like sitting in the garden.
But one of the things during the first 6 months is that Lola has begun to become more of a routine baby.
Yeah.
Where she loves going out.
She loves going out.
She really wants every morning to go out in the pram.
Or the carrier. Like if I put the carrier on at the minute, she's finally got the thing where she started to understand things.
Oh, yeah.
So when I put the carrier on, she gives me a huge grin that I'm putting it on because she knows that means we're going somewhere. So she's like, oh, great. Mummy's going to take me somewhere. How exciting. Whereas Lily's like, I don't want to go out. I'm like, well, Lola wants to, and I can't leave you by yourself. So it means we're all going out.
And this has been the tricky thing in the first 6 months is that we've got one kid who's desperate to go out and one kid who doesn't want to go out. And it works okay on the days Lily goes to preschool because you tend to take both of them and drop Lily off. And that means at 8 o'clock in the morning, you've got a trip out and Lola's happy.
And Lola's happy because she's been out.
On the days on like Tuesdays and Fridays when she doesn't go... it's a nightmare.
It is.
Because Lola starts screaming.
Yeah.
I think this highlights as well that, as you'd expect, and if you're going through this, as you know, like just the chaotic nature of the first 6 months, just trying to get through it. It's certainly been, like, as we said, ups and downs, but also just, like, it's so difficult to get stuff done. Like, the house has been a tip for 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, as much as, like, I try and do a lot of cleaning every night, it's still, like...
Yesterday I said to Ellie, if people came in and I'm like, what do you call it? Like,
to visit, to look?
No. We had some thieves come
Oh, right.
and ransack the house.
If someone came to try and burgle us.
It wouldn't look any different. Like, the other day the house was such a mess. I was like, I think they'd come in and leave. They'd be like, can't deal with this.
Somebody's
Somebody's already
burgled
ransacked this place.
Yeah.
And I said it's so annoying because Elliot, every night the house is clean. And then I come down for breakfast. Already it's starting to become a mess. And I know, like, I was there, like, it's not like Elliot makes it up. I've been there in the night because I make a bottle and take it back up for Lola.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's been clean. How possibly in those few, like, maybe if they've been up an hour? How has it become such a mess?
It's just how you live for a little bit, isn't it? Before we get back on top of things.
And it's like we've got so many priorities that have just gone out the window. Like,
of course.
We're trying to move at the minute.
Yeah.
Have we viewed any houses? No, because we're just exhausted.
You've got to put life on pause, haven't you? You've
do.
got to always refer back. I think sometimes once you get past the first couple of weeks, you're like, well, I can get my life back on track. You know, we can try and make progress with things. And you've got to keep reminding yourself, no, we still have a baby. I think the main difference between, surviving the first week with a newborn, it's not that you're running on adrenaline anymore. It's now much more, a marathon. You're in it for the long haul now. And that's particularly the challenge with getting through, month after month, is that it keeps going. Things are still going to be really difficult.
Yeah.
I think for us, for me, the big thing is that we have been through this before. So like some of that strain and pressure and challenge isn't as bad because I know there is light at the end of the tunnel.
We know it gets
I know
better.
You can get through it, and I know what that looks like. First time around, I think it is a challenge because sometimes it feels relentless. It feels like it's never going to end.
With the first time around, you don't expect things to go better and worse again. Like the first time around, you think it'll just be linear and you're like, oh, it's getting better. Great. It'll just get better and better.
Yeah.
Whereas, when you've been through it, like, oh yeah, it'll get better for a little bit. And then we might have something else that hits us and then it'll go better again.
That leads us quite nicely into, I think, one of the topics that does do that a lot, which is sleep.
Yeah.
How to survive the sleep for us, the sleep deprivation, but also your baby sleeping. Emma's having a yawn right now. That's very right on schedule.
As you was a mention of sleep, I was like, oh yeah, I like sleep.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like, I was going to say how long? I was like, literally 6 months. That's the title of the episode, Elliot. Oh, what are you doing? Like, my brain can't think. It's been 6 months of like, I don't know, averagely, I get like 4 hours of sleep a night.
Yeah.
Like, it is crazy how we are still functioning.
Yeah.
You get slightly more, but you are up and down in the night. But then I'm
up and down, yeah.
Whereas I tend to get 4 hours consecutively.
I never know if it's better to have more sleep, awake and asleep. Yeah. Or sleep in one chunk. I'm sure somebody scientific will know which is better for you.
Maybe, yeah. Shall we try and explain what goes on then?
Oh, yeah. Let's explain our night.
So first time round with Lily, we slept in our bed and we diligently tried to keep her in the cot.
We did. We actually were really good.
Yeah, I mean, I did put a lot of effort into keeping her in the cot and refused to have her in the bed except like in emergencies.
People tell where this is going.
I've been a lot lax this time, a lot more lax. That I was like,
first time we didn't ever do co-sleeping. This time we basically just do co-sleeping.
I know. I started off putting her in the cot.
You did.
When it was my turn in the night, she would always sleep in the cot. When it was Emma's shift in the night, the baby would end up in bed.
Yeah.
We then switched to a thing where basically, because we hit that milestone where we stopped counting like how much sleep we got and started counting like how many times you're up in the night. I feel like that's often a big transition where it's like, well, nowadays it's quite reliable that we're up 3 times in the night. Yeah. And that's that's what you deal with. At that point we switched to you do basically the whole night time now. With feeding, and I then do the mornings. You have a bit of a lie-in, but that does mean that you're in charge of the whole night time, so baby doesn't go in the cot at all.
Yes, that's true. That is when it turned, because I will say right depends, she just won't go in the cot with me, but that's also because she knows I give in, I think. So she's like,
well, you don't try particularly hard. You put her in, you look at her, and she goes, oh, she's waking up now. I'll take her out and put her in the bed. And with Lily, I used to like sit there for like an hour, like stroking her nose, put my arm next to her.
My problem is I'm just not willing to spend that time. Like, often
We're going to have to get back to it at some point.
Yeah, we do need to work on it.
So we're just delaying that problem for a little bit.
Yeah, we're kicking that problem down the road.
She sleeps so well in the bed.
So well in the bed.
She sleeps basically through, other than to wake up for feeds.
Exactly.
And then goes back to sleep. So it works so well.
The other night when I was saying to Elliot, should we try and put her in the cot? And I was like, I've broken him, because he looked at me and he went, nah, let's just put her in the bed.
Yeah.
I was like, he's changed.
Yeah.
He's come to the dark side of going, oh, just put him in bed with us.
Well, what this does mean, though, is that there's not enough space in our bed for all four of us.
Yeah.
So I get relegated to Lily's bed. So in the night, there's like a switcheroo that happens. Lily goes to bed.
Lily, it's really good. She starts off in her own bed.
Yeah, we put her to sleep.
Then about midnight, 1 o'clock, wanders over.
Or just shouts.
Mum, dad, whoever's put her to bed.
Sometimes you can lie with her for a bit and she'll go back to sleep in her own bed.
Recently, we've had more success lying with her
I would
and going
say,
back to bed.
let's see, I think, until very recently, I would have say less than a handful of times. So less than, I could count on one hand the number of times that I've slept a full night in my own bed since Lola was born.
Yeah, that's true.
I think now I've probably maybe got to 6 times.
Yeah.
So I've got off one hand. I'm counting on 2 hands now.
Yeah, true. But that has meant those nights I've normally been sat in Lily's bed with her.
Well, I did a couple of times.
That's true. And then we slowly make our way back to the normal bed.
But typically me and Lily do a swap. So
Yeah.
she comes in, once she gets into our bed, I go in Lily's bed. But of course, Lily comes in about somewhere between 11 and 1.
Yeah.
I haven't yet gone to bed.
No, or he's just gone to bed.
Because
like he's just laid down.
Lola goes to sleep about 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I then go and do the cleaning and washing and tidying. That takes me till about like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Then I sit down and do some work.
Yeah, for about 2 hours, not
For like,
midnight.
until then I come and bring you a bottle of milk so you can do the next feed. I used to help you put her back down in the cot, but that's gone out the window.
That's no longer a thing.
So I go to bed about 2 a.m. and at that point Lily's already in my bed. So for most of the last 6 months I've been sleeping in a toddler bed.
Yeah.
On the floor.
On a floor bed, yeah.
So, it's just what my life's like.
And then Lola often goes with him.
Yeah.
Because it's a floor bed and I feel like it's
Yeah, so I take Lola with me.
Yeah.
And then we get woken up about 5:30, 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
That's been our lives. I want to draw the conversation into actually like the question we posed. How do we like survive? How do you cope with this lack of sleep? How do we cope with this nighttime routine? Any thoughts?
We eat a lot of sugar at the minute, which I think helps with lack of sleep. Because often I know when I'm craving something sweet, in my head I'm like, this is because I'm tired.
Yeah.
But I'm not accepting. My body's still working like it's not tired. It's just, I think part of my brain's like, we need more energy, so we want something sweet.
And I'm still up at like midnight, and I find at that point I'm like, well, I want another snack. I want like a midnight snack.
Yeah, like another meal.
So I make myself like another little like thing. Like sometimes I have like a bagel.
Sometimes I come down and like in the morning I can see like an empty packet of something.
Yeah.
I'm like, somebody have a little snackaroo last night.
I didn't say we had good tips
No,
for surviving. Probably don't follow our example, but this is how we've survived. Other top tip from me, caffeine. Run on a lot of coffee. My coffee intake has definitely gone up since having 2 kids. And that's how I cope with the sleepless nights. One bit I want to touch on a little bit is just like balance of, particularly for me, like work-life balance. I've mentioned I'm often up late working. I work very flexibly, so I work from home, a lot on my computer and stuff. And part of it is that I can be around in the day, and it means I can help with you on days Lily's not at preschool and all that sort of stuff. I can work flexibly, which has been a huge benefit that I do not know how we'd survive if I had a standard office job 9 to 5.
Especially when Lola wouldn't drink, it was really difficult.
Yeah. So
like it's got easier now, but
the downside is that I'm often up till 2 a.m. doing work, trying to make sure that things are happening. I mean, I have a very, understanding and flexible, lenient work and boss and things that are super supportive. So I don't feel pressure, but like I enjoy my work. I would like stuff to get done.
Yes, in a timely manner.
Yeah.
Like this is when it sounds a bit doom and gloom, but like recently I've been able to take both girls out to the cinema by myself, and we're getting there slowly.
But a lot of the first 6 months is like dealing with that reality. Sure, there are bright spots in it that are
Yeah.
like, oh, this is amazing, this is lovely, especially now with 2 kids. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it can be so joyful, but there is a lot of challenges, you know.
There
like,
is, yeah.
it is in that period where things can seem really grim. Like, you know, for us, this first 6 months has been during winter, which makes it
Yeah.
particularly difficult,
That was tough.
you know.
It's been a lot nicer now. Now I can take Lola for a walk to the woods, which is nice when it's sunny because it gets you out the house and you feel a bit better. And Lola loves it because she loves being out the house.
And I'd say that's how, you know, you've been looking after yourself, like with trying to do stuff,
Yeah.
do stuff you enjoy, friendships and things. That's quite important.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm terrible at all of this, but
I rely heavily on our friend called Vicky. We normally see each other every Friday.
friend of the pod, she's been a guest on the
She
podcast
has.
before.
And she has 2 children who are not dissimilar ages. But that's great because me and her can chat along and the 2 girls play together and then we've got the 2 babies. And it's just like, I think this is when people have like a little village. It's just nice having people where you're like, oh, they can come round.
You
And
need that
A,
support.
it doesn't matter if the house is a mess.
Yeah.
They know what it's like.
Yeah.
B, the kids get along. So it means the 2 older kids entertained. It means you're both just sat with the babies. So
Yeah.
it's not bad at all.
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
get a good chit chat. So that's been nice.
Yeah.
Um,
It is amazing, isn't it? You know, first time round, you know, we struggled as well looking after the firstborn in that first period. And then this time round, it's like when Lily's occupied and you're just left with the baby.
Oh, it
like,
seems
"Oh,
easy."
this is so much easier. I've just got one kid to
the
look after.
days by myself at home, just with Lola. Now, once again, when she wasn't drinking, horrendous. But now she's drinking and eating and quite happy. Just very nice little days. Like, it's quite simple. I don't know how I struggled so much.
Yeah.
Like the first time round with Lily when I was by myself all
I know,
day.
but
I'm like,
it's
why?
just-
Why did I?
it was all
complain?
new. It was all a
Whereas now
challenge.
I'm like, looking after one kid by myself, easy. Like the same. If I've just got Lily by myself, I'm like, easy.
Yeah.
Like, why do people? But we were the people who struggled. But I'm like, how do people struggle with one?
We should mention your other support network, your sisters who
Oh,
you're in
yes.
constant contact with. Because I feel like a common thing is that, particularly mums, but, you know, any stay-at-home parent, it can be quite lonely and isolating.
Yes, true.
Especially in the first 6 months.
It can,
where
yeah.
you're doing a lot. You're kind of almost housebound for a lot of the time.
Yeah, true.
And just, yeah, it can be quite difficult because you have a lack of contact and support. But you have a close relationship with your sisters.
Yep. And it's really handy. Normally, one of them at any point is normally pregnant. Because there's so many of us. Normally,
Do you have some sisters, Emma? I didn't know. Do they happen to be identical to you?
They do. Oh, so for people who don't know, quick thing, I'm a quadruplet. So I have 3 sisters who are the same age as me. And it means we're all at a similar stage of life.
Yeah. All
We've
have
all got
kids.
kids.
You talk every day.
We talk every day. My sister in France, for those who are...
Do you have a sister in France? Really?
This is how I always identify
Really?
it. So I think people, if they're playing bingo on the podcast, I've said it.
I feel like we should get T-shirts made. Although it would be
this-
a bit odd for other people to be like my sister in France.
yeah.
It's like your catchphrase now.
Yes, it is. Becky, she's also on maternity. So basically, we can just have our phone on all day. And it sounds weird, but kind of we just literally have it on as we're doing tasks around the house and playing with the babies.
Yeah.
Because it sounds odd, but it's company without being intrusive.
Yeah.
So now and again, you can have a little chat with each other. But most of the time, it's just hearing the other person in the background doing stuff as you're doing stuff.
On the flip side, I'm more like the I suppose more typical woman mum in the relationship
Yeah.
who's like, I often lament that I'm sat inside and that I never leave the house.
He did,
that
because he
I'm-
works from home. So
I work from home.
one day he was like, haven't been outside today.
I often don't get dressed.
Yeah,
I do all the cleaning, and I'm like sat there like I haven't been outside today. And then, you know, just yeah, it
think
takes a toll.
Yeah.
I don't have many friends. I don't stay in contact with people.
not saying-
I don't talk
I
to
was gonna say,
people. I feel quite lonely.
Whose fault is that? Let's be honest.
I'm too busy. I'm just too busy, Emma.
You're too busy.
Yeah.
Look at his face. If anyone knows Elliot, he's not the best at being sociable.
Hey, if you're listening to this podcast, this is the most you will ever hear me talk.
It's true.
Literally.
Yeah.
Even if you know me in person, you will never hear me talk
No,
this
never
much.
heard. Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's the most he ever talks is on them. Well, and, to me.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, he's not.
I'm a quiet little soul. I'm quite happy typically in my own company.
Yeah, he is.
But
Yeah.
the long days with a baby, it does push a lot of it to the limit. This does lead us quite nicely into like talking about some of our relationship as well. Like that's something that comes under strain in these early days.
Yeah, we've done very well actually in the touch wood. I'm sure we had loads more fights with Lily at this point.
Yeah,
we actually had touch wood. Haven't really had any fights.
I feel like again we're a bit more adapted to the parenting lifestyle.
Also, I think I've learned, like, kind of older and wiser, like, I often now phrase things in a lot better way. So I think, like, when we had Lily, I'd often say something but not realise that it was coming across like a criticism. So I'd be like, oh, so baby had not had a nappy done. But I'd actually be generally asking. But I'd have said it in such a way that would be almost aggressive.
Yeah.
And then obviously that would start a fight because he'd be like, well, I'm so sorry, I didn't look like... Whereas now I'm like, oh, honey, have we done her nappy recently?
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of it's, you kind of learn, not like, oh, he's a delicate little flower, but I'm saying like, you learn how to like phrase things to each other to be like, oh, this isn't an attacky thing. This is a generally checking in.
See, this is what I mean by like we often inhabit the other roles, because I feel like this is a great example of something that normally goes the other way between a husband and wife.
So men out there, you just have to learn to phrase things in a nice way. So I think
they've been with the baby all day, and I haven't been with the baby all day, but I do, like, I'm so involved that like,
and often like say I've taken Lily out, so we went to the ballet, me and Lily, and then I come back and he's had a baby.
So for me, I'm like, I've taken several hours off work to like look after the baby, to accommodate you going out to do something you would like. I'll have to stay up later tonight to catch up.
And I think you have to be like, a lot of it's phrasing, a lot of it's appreciation, saying thank you a lot.
And I'm just trying to like keep you from being too negative about yourself, because I know you get frustrated that you're not doing as much as you'd like to be, or not thriving as much as, you know, and I'm always like,
I think it's hard because you see a lot of people on social media being like, we've been to all these places with my child and baby, and I'm like, well, I've just managed to leave the house.
We're probably as guilty as that as anyone. We do post a lot of like some of our trips and things online that
I think because for me they're like successes.
But
obviously people don't know that's a success, they just see that as daily life.
And it, you know, it is a challenge in these early days that, you know, it is almost like we're just cohabiting. Like,
there's not much time for romance.
We don't have much of a relationship in any other sort of way. Like sometimes we barely talk to each other during the day, or like barely see each other. Like with our different bedtime schedules, like we don't sleep in the same bed. Like we go to bed at different times. You know, it's just like that kind of. That part of the relationship definitely is on pause until later down the line.
Kick it down the road.
I suppose this time going into it, we were more aware that like so much of this stuff is going to have to be on pause.
I think this is just A, older and wiser. B, we've done it before. So we're like, hey, it will get back to normal once the kids are a little bit older. And that's just the sacrifice you make at this point.
Hey, this is Editing Elliot. Quick little plug from me. If you could, like, follow, subscribe, do all the clickety things with this episode, that will be fab. Share it with a friend. And thank you to everyone who's already done those things. If you're following along, turn on notifications. And if you've shared this with someone, or if you shared the podcast with someone, thank you so much. That's great. That's how we grow. It's how we can support this project and keep it going. How you can keep us doing this thing, and that would be fab. If you've not done that, please do, please pretty please do get involved with the community. Follow us on social media at don'twakethebaby_podcast. Just a quick little one from me this week, not long, just because it is a conversation starter and hopefully not just us speaking into the void, all that stuff. The web links are down below for our website and other information. But yeah, let's get back into the episode, back into the good stuff. we've been rambling around all sorts of different topics here, but all sorts of stuff that happens that kind of you have to navigate. I wonder if you want to touch on feeding and breastfeeding. We have done an episode on this, but
We have.
this is something that kind of continues through for us with both kids.
Yeah.
It's a particularly defining feature of the first 6 months because
Yeah.
you have stopped at 6 months
Yes,
in both times.
Clearly, that is what I do. This time round, it was mainly because of the cow's milk protein allergy, and I was sick of eating. So basically, when I was giving her breast milk, I couldn't eat nice things like cheese and milk.
Yeah.
And I'd got to the point where I was like, I want to eat nice things. And I'd
it
feel guilty.
would slip into your diet so regularly. Like, it's so difficult to keep
And
on
then
that diet because it was no soya, no milk, no, lactose, no
And then
beef.
I'd feel so guilty because if she was poorly, I'd go, oh, it must be something I've eaten.
Yeah.
And I'd overanalyze everything I'd eaten. And it might not have been. She might have been having a bad teething day, but it'd make me really paranoid about
It's
what I
just
was
adding
eating.
an extra stress, and it's so stressful. I think this is a key takeaway in these early days. First 6 months is to know when to compromise. It's okay to deviate from your plan. And for us, that both times has been about actually, maybe you could have gone on, breastfeeding and, longer. In both cases, it was mixed feeding and you were pumping milk to give her. But you made the decision that actually it's going to be better for all our lives. It's a big drain on you.
It is,
time-wise, energy-wise.
Yeah, and what my main thing was near the end is I felt like Lily was getting kind of neglected sometimes because I'd be like, oh yeah, I have spent all this time with the baby. Now I'm going to spend some time pumping milk. And even though it's 10 minutes, it was 4 times a day. So that's 40 minutes where I could be sat doing something with Lily.
Yeah.
And I'm sat pumping milk.
Yeah.
And once again, she's been really good, but I felt like it was just another thing, straining.
So we have fully transitioned onto being a formula-fed baby now.
Yeah. We have.
And that has actually made our lives a bit easier.
It has made it easier.
It's made going out and about easier. It means we don't have to
have breast pumps with us
accommodate
anymore.
some of that stuff for you. It's it takes a pressure off you. I think
it does.
Yeah.
And it's been nicer in that
you don't have to get up in the night to pump.
Also, I don't have to wear a bra to bed, which I know, TMI, but it's so uncomfortable wearing a bra to bed. I finally got to the point now where my milk's dried up enough that I can just put a pajama top on and I don't have to wear a bra, and I'm like, oh, so much nicer.
See, I would have never known about this problem. There you go. There's a benefit that I'd not realised. Oh, this is Lola waking up.
Somebody's waking up.
Oh no. Hi Lola, have you come to join the conversation? How have you found the first 6 months, Lola? I would say Lola is a very happy, smiley baby a lot of the time.
She is, yeah.
But as with our eldest, the teething is just a nightmare. She's trying to grab the microphone again. Please, Lola, please don't grab the microphone.
You always love the microphone, don't you?
That is for Mama and Baba to talk.
No.
Hi Lola, how are your teethies doing today, Lola? Are they a bit better? Lola.
Gonna hear a lot of rustling now. Oh, that's it. Give that to her.
I don't know that we really have any tips for teething either. It's just a faffle. It's like them being ill constantly. We talked about it a lot. We did do an episode all about teething. We chatted about how it was with Lily when she was going through it, and it's much the same with Lola. We haven't really got anything to add. It's a challenge.
I thought we were making more progress with our teeth, but basically the bottom two are almost through. They've been almost through for ages.
Yeah.
I kept going, oh, it's going to be so much quicker than Lily. And I'm like, oh, it turns out hasn't really.
And some days it just means she's in a bad mood. She's just screaming all day. And it's why? You go through the checklist and it's just that her teeth are causing her pain. And at this age, she doesn't understand it. You can't distract her very well. Particularly, I think going forward from here, it becomes slowly easier, even though teething continues to be a bane.
And I do find with Lola, because she loves the outside so much, even on a bad teething day, taking her out does help. And she's a big water baby, isn't she?
Yeah.
So turns out Elliot loves the water. He loves boating. He loves, I say boating like we're posh, kayaking. And he loves swimming. I'm not, I like kayaking. I'm not huge into swimming. Can't really swim very well. But both our girls, super into water. So if Lola's having a bad day, Elliot will know, because I'm like, right, he has his meeting in the next room, and I'm like, I'm just going to run a bath. Do you have a meeting soon or not? And if he doesn't, I'm like, great. Because it means
they're back in the bath.
yeah, it means
Lola's teeth must be
we're going to
bad.
spend probably about an hour in the bath because Lola loves it.
Yeah.
And she's in a much better mood after she's
Yeah,
had a
it's
bath.
interesting, isn't it? There
Yeah.
you go. There's a little tip.
Yeah.
I don't know if it only works for our kid.
Yeah, if you have a water baby like Lola.
Got a little segment for you to a question to engage. Oh, did my voice scare you there, Lola? I thought we could have a quick little chat, list some things that we've bought or have, or already had that have been particularly useful in the first 6 months. We did this with our newborn episode where we talked about the first week, what things were particularly good or not good. So let's chat about some of the stuff, all the stuff you have.
I'm trying to think what's been really useful.
Number one on my list, top thing that we didn't have last time, bought off Facebook Marketplace, the bouncer thing. Is that what you call it? What do you call it?
Yeah,
Like those things that stand on the floor and you put them in
the baby in
the
it,
middle,
yeah.
in a little circle, and they sit in it. And,
it's like a bouncer, right?
Well, they don't really bounce, do they? They just play with the stuff that's then around the edge. Oh,
Some people, they call it something console, don't they?
do they?
You can hear the click-clack and Elliot's Googling it.
No, like a bouncer is like one of those chair things, which we used a lot with Lily, but actually with Lola, we found the bouncer chairs.
She wasn't big on it.
Yeah, not much use. We wouldn't recommend that. They work sometimes, but I don't know. Lola doesn't like sitting.
No.
She loves to stand.
Loves to stand.
Which I just
and loves to try and crawl.
Just like, what's going on with you? Why are you standing? Like,
Yeah, you just want to stand all the time, don't you?
don't want to sit down.
No, she doesn't.
I'm none the wiser because they give them like weird, like activity centre.
Yes, you see what I mean? I've heard it called like an activity console or something.
Musical toy activity entertainer, skip hop explore more stage activity centre. It's a bit.
Let's just say like a jumperoo, but not.
I think people get what we mean.
That's a long explanation, for you all know what it is. The thing where they stand in it and there's bits around them.
Yeah.
That's been really good.
Yeah.
We got that from Marketplace because we kept saying to each other, well, she loves standing. What could we get her?
And it is plastic,
It is. It's not very Montessori.
Yeah,
really.
we do like the whole, Montessori style stuff. And first time round, we tried to avoid a lot of plastic toys. This one's good, though, because it doesn't have too many flashing lights.
No, it doesn't actually.
Or loud noises. It is just stuff that she can rattle and play with, but it is plastic. But it means, like when you're cooking, you can stick her in it.
Or if I'm like putting the washing away sometimes, that's handy.
Because she'll happily sit in it for a little bit.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else has been really good. Tell you what hasn't been useful this time. That snood thing. Is it snood? The sleepy pod thing.
Sleepy pod thing?
The thing
The thing on the floor?
Yes, that Lily, it's like a, what was it called?
Ooh.
Goodness, today we're not doing well with names.
I don't know. It's a mat that goes on the floor, but it has like a buffer thing.
They were called like sleepeasies or something, but they had to change the name because you're not actually meant to let them sleep in it.
Yeah.
But Lily used to love laying in there. Lola hated it because she's not like lying down on her back.
Yep.
Well, she didn't. Now she's okay. So that was a complete waste of us keeping that, really.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff where we haven't necessarily bought new things.
No,
but we kept a
them.
load of stuff from when we had Lily, and it's not been useful. Still sat in storage or whatever. But
or it's been out and just not used.
Yeah. Should we talk about carriers?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So we did try something different this time. We tried a sling carrier.
Yeah.
That is kind of a fail.
It's on me though. It's because I really struggle to just. I'm just not one of those women who's good at that stuff. Like I really.
It's
struggle.
really hard to explain, isn't it? Because people can't understand how you
how
can't.
like uncoordinated I am. I think.
Yeah, because you look them. We even bought one that's not just.
It's meant to be easy.
It wasn't just a piece of fabric. It was one that was meant to be like easy to use, easy to put on.
And my sister in France.
Oh, do you have a sister in France?
Fab at it.
Oh.
She's the one we bought the same one as her, so she could teach me.
Yeah. See, I'm blaming you, Becky. If you're listening to this,
it's your fault. That's why we have that. Because you were saying how good it was, and I was like, oh look how easy it is. Could I do it? Not really. Like, I maybe managed it twice.
On the plus side, we have a different carrier that we because we rebought the same carrier we used for Lily,
Yes, we
thinking
did.
we'd use that, and we didn't end up using it very much because we ended up with a different carrier which we got gifted by another of your sisters.
Yes, the one in the local one, Kirsty in Barnard Castle.
Yeah. And that's been super useful.
Super useful.
We've got a lot of comments on it. It's particularly good. It's got this weird little base that's like got a polystyrene like solid bit in it that they sit on. So rather than just like being fabric that supports them, there's actually like a thing they sit on.
Yeah.
Which means
it really helps your back.
It's designed to not put as much weight and pressure on your back, which...
Because Lola's quite a big baby. It's really helpful when you're carrying her about. You just don't tire as easy.
Yeah.
And because she's getting back into the pram, but she hasn't been a huge fan of the pram, so it meant you were
that's been
carrying
very
her a
similar
lot.
to
That
Lily,
was similar
hasn't
to
it?
Lily.
Never a big fan of the pram.
But it means it's a lot more viable to carry her around for longer.
I was looking at it downstairs because I was thinking we should shout out what it is to try and explain to people if they want a recommendation, but I've already forgotten what it was. It's like Bebe Amour?
Yeah, Bebe Amour, something like that.
Is that like the brand? It's
Yeah,
like
I
a
think
weird...
so.
Is that French?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I would say it's not the best to like get into by yourself because the way you got to clip the straps up.
Yes. I mean, I'm getting used to it now.
It's also a bit bulky because it has this base thing.
is a
So
bit
for
bulky,
carrying
yeah.
around, you can't like stuff it in a bag very easily.
No.
So that's a downside. But otherwise...
I mean, normally, though, I'm wearing them most of the time, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. We may do another episode on it. I don't know, but like towards getting towards 6 months, a lot of people start weaning at 6 months.
Yeah.
Both our kids started early because they're just big into food and like were ready at that stage. And
Lola eats a lot.
so we started again very similarly to Lily about 4 and a bit towards 5 months.
Yeah,
we
almost
started
5 months,
doing
yeah.
baby-led weaning. So that's good. So that's another one where like you can now stick her in a high chair.
And it's good for feed, like when we're eating, it means you can just chuck her in a high chair with some food in front of her.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's this is always our favourite bit, is once the babies can interact and play. It's just...
Yeah.
I think it makes it feel a lot more worthwhile. Like, I know you love your kid when they're tiny and can't do anything, but it's more rewarding for me when I feel like, oh, she's really happy. Oh, she really liked that. Oh, she's laughing. That's nice.
Well, it's hard though because you're much more of a toddler person. You like them when they're older, whereas I do really like babies, and
He
like
does.
it's just a shame because obviously, like in this phase, you're off on maternity and I'm working. That actually, you're spending more time with the baby than I am.
True.
I would say, obviously there are mechanisms where we could have split it with us, or like I could have taken some time off instead of you, but just it didn't make much sense for just what we're up to. It just for us,
Let me put you down here for a second.
This is the other challenge we're having as we're getting towards 5-6 months and onwards. Recording the podcast is becoming an increasingly challenging thing. When they were a baby, she would just sleep. You could just hold her. When they're a bit older, then Lily's off at nursery and preschool.
Yeah.
We're in this weird phase where it's going to be a real challenge recording podcasts
I think
because she's
once
going to
we
be
get
awake.
her down in a routine, though, it should be okay. Because she's starting to do longer naps, but only like 2 big naps.
Any final top tips? Any takeaways from all our rambling general mess of our lives?
Look how good she is at trying to crawl.
Yeah, she's trying to crawl.
Sorry, I'm just very impressed. She's so close to crawling right now. It's very
I would say
impressive.
I'm impressed that I am as excited, I think, this time seeing some of the development. I was worried that second time round I would be like, we've seen all this before. It's we're not as excited as the firstborn, but I'm pretty into it all. Maybe not quite as.
I think it's exciting. It's also really exciting because, as I said before, Lily's like Lola's top supporter. So she gets really excited, which then makes it exciting as well. Look at you go.
We're getting distracted, tangents again from.
Oh, what was my thing? Top tips.
Yeah.
Get the grandparents involved if you can.
It's hard, isn't it? Like, with our first ones, we talked about this before, but first time round, our parents are slightly older, so they're not quite as involved. They live further away. This time round, it is like 4 years later.
Yeah.
So they are all now that bit older and everything. Like, not all of them drive as much as they used to.
Yeah,
my
true.
dad's now in his 80s.
Yeah.
Like, the others aren't quite as old as that. But, it is difficult getting the support we need.
And it's not their fault. Like, they are actually really supportive. It's just capability of running around and doing stuff and having...
They're great at, looking after Lily and taking Lily out and doing that sort of thing. But, we find looking after two difficult at the best of times. It's very difficult to drop both of them with grandparents and expect them to handle that.
Like, at the minute, she's really good at throwing herself off your knee.
Yeah,
like,
she's very strong.
Very strong, surprisingly so. So with anybody we pass her to, I'm always sat just ready for her to throw herself off because people don't expect it.
My top tip, which you might, I don't know, expect from me as someone who works in the online space, we are a bit biased. We run our own podcast, but I would say if you can't find like local community, find stuff online that helps support you. I listen to like podcasts 24/7.
Oh,
like,
he does, yeah.
I constantly have a headphone in. Just like sometimes you just need a distraction, you need an escape life's challenge, or sometimes you just need to listen to other people.
I do struggle like if Lola's screaming, if I don't have my phone with me, because normally when she's screaming, and you have to be that person who stays calm and gives her comfort. But it's helpful if you then have a little headphone in your ear that just takes you away from the screaming.
Yeah.
So it's like
Bit of escapism.
A little distraction. And like, I can't always even hear what they're saying, but it helps just keep me calm.
Keeps me sane.
And also, places like TikTok are actually really useful for just... I'm not going to say everybody knows everything. There's some idiots out there.
Of course.
But
Internet's full of idiots.
There's some good pages too.
There's idiots like us out there.
There's idiots like us who pretend they know stuff. But there's like some good tips of like putting the pram in the bassinet thing and letting them have tummy time, because Lola loved that yesterday. Went around there.
I don't think you said that right. Putting the pram in the bassinet.
No, like the bassinet bit on the pram. Like our pram goes from upright to that kind of bassinet-y form.
Right, okay, I see what you mean.
So putting it flat like that, because we don't really do that anymore. She loved that yesterday, going round little. And like people couldn't stop smiling at her because she was so smiley. And everyone, such a happy baby. And I wanted to be like, it's because I've done this. Yeah. And she thinks this is great, that she's kind of like almost flying. I think I've completely ignored your tip thing.
Yeah. As usual, I try and direct the conversation. It's just, we go off chatting about stuff. Emma's a wild card.
I'm a wild
you
card.
never know.
You can't stop me. Tangents everywhere.
As much as what I'm like on the podcast is not at all what you will experience in real life, Emma is exactly like she is in real life. If you talk to Emma in real life, this is how you will find her. Happy
to drop into any conversation at any point. Yeah. I would say I'm quite an organised person in life.
Yeah, definitely.
just not mentally.
We have a good little relationship. I sit quietly and you just chat at me for hours on end, telling me about things. Right, well, we better wrap things up.
We do. I don't even know what we've talked about. I feel like I'm in a daze.
Yeah, me too. I've no idea how long this episode's going to be.
For a lot of it, I feel like you've been just hinting at that you haven't had any sex recently. I feel like we're never in bed together.
Thank you for joining us today in the cozy imaginary room, in the casita, in the Encanto, in the thing, the podcast that you're listening to. This has been Don't Wake the Baby. You've been with Emma and Elliot, rambling away. Oh, and yes, Lola's been here. Yeah. And Lola.
Sorry. And Lola.
Yeah. Well, she's not part of the conversation.
No.
Oh, I'm getting distracted in the outro as we go. Join us next time for a new topic. See you later, scallywags. Be gone. Sleep well. God bless.